last but not least, Libby Vinson, New Jersey Association of Community Providers, in favor, wish to testify with amendments.
Good morning, everyone. I am Libby Vinson. I am the new CEO of the New Jersey Association of Community Providers. So I wanted to be here first to introduce myself and certainly look forward to working with all of you in this important role. NJACP represents about 80 agencies across the state that serve individuals with disabilities and community-based services. And I won't reiterate, Sharon did a wonderful job speaking previously. I'm really just here to thank you, Chairwoman, to working with us and Senator Vitale for working with us. This is a very important bill, but it is, to your point, Assemblywoman, and all of you, in the understanding that we have to be incredibly judicious in the implementation of this legislation. These are Medicaid dollars that need to go to the individuals. So anytime we start taking money out of the system, my concern is the impact on the individuals we serve. So, we certainly at NJACP do not, should instances happen, they need to be investigated. We do not back any instances of abuse and neglect. We do not want bad actors in the system. And I would say this is an important bill, but so much of the discussion has been on the after something happens. And what I'm hopeful, and I know that we've talked about this, Assemblywoman, is that in the next legislative session, we can really focus on prevention. Because after it's already happened, what can we do to prevent things? And it really is about the people. It's investing in the workers that are face to face with these individuals every single day. So I was just pleased as I was sitting here, not that I wasn't paying attention, but I was on Twitter and I noticed yesterday the Department of Human Services put out a direct care workforce strategic plan. We look forward to reading that and looking forward to see the investments. I think the state has done a great job in investing in the pay for direct care workers, but I think it's also important about actually workforce development, career pathways, investing in loan redemption, tuition reimbursement, things like that we really can elevate the workforce in a greater way. And a second piece, and I know this isn't on the bill, but I think it's important to some of the issues that you brought up, Assemblyman, is that we're also in the next session looking at tightening the hiring process. So, there's a central registry where if you do something egregious and substantiated, you end up on the central registry. That's the no-go. You cannot hire from that, and that's in this bill. And certainly providers don't do that. But there are the individuals that are, fly under the radar screen that might do something in an agency and get fired. And then they pop up in another agency. And so what we're hoping in this next legislative session is to really take a look at models in health and education so those bad actors don't go from agency to agency, because this is a human system. And I think we need to be realistic in understanding that. And with the human system, there's always going to be risk. How do we focus on minimizing risk? And if we, ensure that those bad actors don't go do something here and pop up at another agency, and then it's just, that risk is a little bit higher. So we look forward to working with all of you in the next session. I came to this role, certainly I represent, I proudly represent providers that do this important work every single day. But I've also been sitting listening to parents and family members and staff, and most importantly, the individuals and what their concerns are. And so I come to this space to be collaborative, work on solutions. And I know with you, Assemblywoman and Senator Vitale, have made the commitment through this bill and efforts going forward that you'll bring us all to the table and do good work for the people that we all care so much about. So thank you. And we look forward to further amendments, certainly in the next, in the next committee when this is released. And please, we're a resource here for whatever questions you have.
Right. Thank you, Libby. And I will tell you, it's the organization that you just started, which is one of my favorites. Not that they all are not, but when I first got elected, the old CEO, Ginny and Maureen back there, they were very welcoming. But I think everybody will agree that over the last 8 years, we've brought this issue with disabilities to the forefront of what New Jersey is relying on, especially on the workforce. And this is something we're going to deal with hopefully next year or next session. And I'm hoping this bill starts that conversation as making sure that we do start doing more of the preventive, more of the wellness care, more of making sure that we're able to get that out there, what disabilities is about, because it doesn't all fall under one umbrella. There's so many different needs, and we cannot treat it like it's one umbrella. We have to be respectful and identify the needs that, people with autism, people with, severe disabilities, those intellectual disabilities, and what that means to our community to make sure that we as a state continue fostering that community. And I think we've brought it to the attention of the administration over the last several years. You guys have done such a great job with that. And I'm hoping as we move forward, this becomes even more of a staple within our conversations moving forward. And this is just an afterthought. Oh, people with disabilities, let's look at that. This is people in our community who we want to make sure their normal life fits into, or we fit into their normal life as well. So thank you.
I appreciate that. And I would say New Jersey has a lot to be proud of. You should be proud of the fact that you have a disability caucus within the legislature. Yes. One of the few states that has that. And so I know many of you right here in the room are a part of that, and that's a great place to, any issue, the disability community should not be an afterthought. So any issue when any piece of legislation the disability community needs to be a part of that discussion. And so I applaud all of you for that leadership and in this role. Like I said, I'm here as solutions. And I would just add one other point on this bill. The one thing that I am a little bit concerned is about the how high the ceiling can go of 25,000. Maybe there could be a consideration that it would be a ceiling of 10,000 for. But I do certainly, if there are systemic issues and there are problems, there should be consequences. That is not something that we certainly support. So I thank you, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Any questions? Okay. Libby, thank you, and we'll definitely be in touch after the committee moving forward on additional work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.